All right, thank you guys for joining us today for the National Auto Body Council, their Distracted Driving Awareness Program with Bubba Wallace. Excited to kick this off this week. It's made possible by Petty Motorsports Partners, BASF and 3M, who also are members of the National Auto Body Council. They do a lot of work in helping drivers understand the dangers of being on your phone, texting, watching videos, even using your car's technology when you're behind the wheel. And this campaign with Bubba helps get that message out to drivers of all ages across all forms of media, and they're excited to be here today. I'm going to turn it over to Barry Barbie, who is an executive director on the NABC board. We also are joined by Joe O'Neill from the NABC board and Dale Ross from 3M.
Not quite the executive director yet. I'm actually the director at large. My name is Barry Barbie. I represent the National Auto Body Council. Our organization is not for profit and was comprised of collision repair industry professionals. Our motto and mission is to change and save lives. To date, one of our first initiatives I'll talk about is recycled rides. We have gifted over 1,800 vehicles to deserving individuals and corporations and organizations that are deserving of reliable transportation. The most important initiative that we're talking about today is distracted driving, which brings us here today with Bubba. Shockingly, over 9 in 10 individuals text while driving. This has to stop. That's why we're partnering with Bubba, and he's joining forces with National Auto Body Council to bring awareness.
Thanks, Barry. So, Bubba, why'd you sign on for this campaign?
Well, I'm one of those 9 of 10. I'm guilty. A lot of us in this room are. And at the same time, it takes a split-second decision. So, it like you said, it needs to stop because you see, I remember, I don't know how many years ago it was. I was in Charleston, and we were driving right through downtown, and they have this display. I don't know if it's still there or not, but a mangled car, and it said right in front of it, "This is the result of texting and driving, RIP," you know. And I was like, oh my God, it's a very morbid scene, and it just made you realize like how important it is. I mean, your life can be over within seconds. So it's easy enough to put our phones down and enjoy the scenery. And even distracted driving, it doesn't really count as being on your phone. It's just looking down at, you know, if you just got, you know, fresh Domino's pizza, looking down, make sure it's all right, looking back up, you blew through a red light. And so it's little things like that where we take our eyes off the road for a split second that we need to be more aware and bring the message to the new teens that are getting on the roads now.
What kind of advice do you offer? What do you do when you get in the car to prepare to make sure you're not on your phone, not using your GPS, other technology once you're underway?
Well, like I said, I've been guilty of it, posting videos of new music that's coming out, so that's got to stop for sure. But, I mean, long rides are boring. We get it. You know, you hate sitting there driving in the car for numerous amounts of hours. You're tempted to pick up your phone, whether it's a text, somebody called you, or scroll through Twitter, whatever you got, whatever you think. You got to remember, like, the end result of paying too much attention to the phone and not the road. So always be mindful of what's going on around you. Be aware of your surroundings, and always keep your head on a swivel. That's what I tell everybody in the racing world, and that's what I tell everybody on the road. Keep your head on a swivel. Know what's around you and what's coming up ahead.
Any other tips about planning your trip, like setting your playlist, setting your directions, making sure, particularly if you're in a rental car, you know where everything is?
Yeah, you know, one thing I wish I did better is plug in the GPS of where I need to go. If we land at an airport, try to get to the track, which way I need to go. I usually get going, and then 5 minutes out of the parking lot, I'm like, I have no idea where I'm going. And then I have to go through the GPS. You know, hopefully it's at a stoplight. But now I keep telling myself, as soon as I get in the rental car, drop a pin so I know how to get back to the airport from the racetrack. So it's all that, being proactive before you put your car in drive and head on the road.
Thanks. Shifting gears, have you looked at the footage from the Roval? Did you make a donation to Dale Jr.'s graveyard?
No, that was poking. I'm over the Roval. We'll build another racetrack or something.
What's your outlook for this weekend?
There's no chicane on the backstretch, so that's good. I'm excited about that. No right-hand turns, no downshifting, so we're good. I love coming to Dover. It's always been, you know, top of my list for me, and just a place where I feel I can really get after it. So we got some new items on our car that we're trying out. That, you know, our speed isn't there yet, but we're kind of creeping into it. But the feel is is a feeling I haven't had in years. And talking to Drew about that, that's pretty big. So you get accustomed to a feel that you've had for the last 5 years, and now something's totally different and it catches you off guard. So we're kind of working things out throughout the weekend. So looking for a really good finish for us this weekend.
And next up, Talladega, obviously a great finish starting off the season. You ready to go back to the super speedway?
Yeah, for some reason, I've it's right up there with the Roval. I've always hated speedway racing, but we always ran really good at it. And we find ourselves in the right spot at the right time most of the time, towards the end of those finishes. And looking back on the 500, that was pretty cool. So if we could replicate that one spot better at Talladega, that'd be a hell of a time.
You also had an opportunity to play a little golf this week in the Petty Foundation event, raise some money, but you almost had a hole-in-one. You took home closest to the pin and won your own helmet.
Yeah, I took my own die-cast helmet, signed it with the king. So thanks, awesome, nice job. But it was my second shot, so it was like a mulligan shot. So I don't know if that really counts, but it was a good shot. I almost had I think it was a 3-night stay at Lizard Lick Resort, wherever in the hell that is. I don't know, probably somewhere in Alabama. I don't know.
So any final advice for folks on distracted driving that you want to offer? Any other tips?
Just put the phone down, set your playlist, and enjoy the ride.
And Barry, folks can text their pledge to NABC.
Yeah, join me in texting the pledge to NABC 50555. And while just for my Facebook audience friends, I'd like to thank our Level 1 sponsors, Allstate Insurance, BASF, Caliber Collision Centers, Copart, CarStar, Dent Concepts, Enterprise Rental Car, Hertz Corporation, Insurance Auto Auctions, PPG, Progressive Insurance, Sherwin-Williams, and United Recyclers Group. I'd also like to thank our fellow board member Joe O'Neill for joining us today. And one of the initiatives I forgot to mention in my speed going through was free. Together, we donate cars to local firefighters and EMTs, and they practice their extrication skills. We're scheduled to gift over 100 ceremonies to local communities so they can practice next year. Thank you for your time today.
Thank you, and thanks, everyone. Bubba will be available for interviews in the hall afterward, and if you need any more information on the National Auto Body Council's Distracted Driving Awareness Program, they'll be passing out releases here shortly. Thank you.
Cool.